Hello and welcome to another video on Code with Vinay. Today I'll dive into a curious question that often baffles students. And that question is NaN an error in Java? Let us unravel this mystery together. First, let's understand what NaN stands for. In Java, NaN means not a number. It's a special value used in floating point calculations to represent something that doesn't quite fit well into the world of numbers as we know it. You might come across NaN when doing something unusual, like dividing 0 by 0 or taking the square root of a negative number. Let's dive into some code to understand this better. Since we won't be writing elaborate programs in this video, I'll be using JShell. Now, JShell is a powerful tool for running quick one-liner commands and snippets of Java. To start JShell, I'll simply say JShell. And now we are at the JShell prompt. So 0 by 0, I'll say 0.0 divided by 0.0. And as you can see, we get the answer as NaN. Similarly, if you find the square root of a negative number, I say math.sqrt and then I say minus 25. Again, I am getting NaN. Instead of throwing an error and stopping the program, Java gives us NaN. What does this really mean? So, is NaN an error? Not exactly. Think of it as Java's ways of saying, this calculation doesn't make sense in real numbers. It's not an error. It's more like a heads up or a flag indicating something indeterminate. NaN usually indicates the result of invalid operations, or we can also say that NaN is used for unrepresentable values. Now it's pretty clear that NaN is not an error. So what is NaN? Technically, NaN is a constant. On your screen right now is the snapshot of the Java documentation page of NaN. And if you see, it clearly says a constant holding a not a number NaN value of type double. It is equivalent to the value returned by double long bits to double. And then you have the exact value of the constant which is stored for NaN. Here I would also like to point out that NaN is defined for both float and double. Right now we are seeing the page for double, but if I switch over to the page for NaN in float, you will notice that it is more or less the same, only the precision is less because this is float and not double. Now since this is a constant, you can even print it directly. I can say system.out.println and I can say float.nan. And the same thing can be done for double also. That is, we can print double.nan. NaN is quite the oddball. If you try adding, subtracting, or any other operation with it, it will result in NaN. Let me show it to you. So I'll say float n is equal to float.nan. And then let's say I say n into 10. I get an NaN. N minus 10. NaN. N divided by 10. And still I get NaN. And guess what? NaN isn't considered equal to anything, not even itself. For example, if I say float.nan equals float.nan, I get false. That's like saying, I'm who I am, but also I'm not. Pretty philosophical, don't you think? In practical terms, while NaN is not an error, it often signifies that an error or exceptional condition has occurred in your calculations. If you encounter NaN in your results, it's a signal to check your code to ensure that it's handling numbers and calculations as expected. So students, now you know that NaN is not an error but a helpful friend in the complex world of floating point numbers. Keep exploring, keep questioning, and most importantly, keep having fun with coding. Until next time, stay curious and happy coding. Your feedback is valuable to me. I want to make sure that my videos are clear and helpful. You can follow me on the internet on any one or all of these channels.